A Minnesota Republican lawmaker doesn't believe that schools should provide free lunches for hungry kids because he doesn't believe that hungry kids are a problem or that they actually exist. Take a look.
I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that is hungry. Yet today. I have yet to meet a person in Minnesota that says they don't have access to enough food to eat. Now, I should say that hunger is a relative term, Mr. President. You know, I had a cereal bar for breakfast. I guess I'm hungry now. That to some might be maybe that's the definition of the bill. I don't know. I didn't see a definition of hunger in the bill, Mr. President.
Look at the smug look on that guy's face. Jesus Christ. No, he knows exactly. Hunger. Hungry children. I've never met one, so of course. They couldn't exist. That's why we need to make sure not to help poor people and take the money that we're going to use to help poor people and just give it to my rich friends. That's ultimately the whole point. This guy's an absolute garbage person. By the way, he's now raising money off this. He's saying, oh, look at that. Hungry people don't exist. I've never met one. Give me money now. Please give me money. Wow. I mean, talk about somebody who has never met another person outside of his tax bracket. I mean, you want to talk about elitists. That guy? Definite elitist. And that guy, by the way, is State Senator Steve Drazkowski. By the way, in addition to, saying, oh, hungry people, not real, never met a hungry child, so, we don't need this program, he also called it pure socialism. Because of course.
In Venezuela.
Well, that's what's going to happen if you give the children a free lunch, a universal free lunch. That's what happens. We turn immediately into Venezuela. Look, I mean, Marie Antoinette. That's the other thing that it makes me think of. Children, if you're hungry, why don't you just go to the fridge? I mean, we're the richest country in the world. Poor people have fridges. Did you know that? They have microwaves too. You're not really poor if you have a microwave or refrigerator. You're not really hungry. Well, let them eat cake. Look, here are facts, okay? Look, nearly 275,000 kids get free or reduced price meals in Minnesota in the schools. But at least 18% of those students in grades K through 12 who could qualify for those benefits, they're not getting them. Now, why is that? Well, families hadn't submitted the necessary paperwork to make them eligible. Now, this bill addresses that and says, we're just going to make free lunch completely universal. That's it. You know what that costs, by the way? $200 million. When it comes to feeding hungry children, I don't think that's too much of a cost, right? And I think actually it costs less than some of these, ridiculous conservative lawmakers and the subsidies they give to their rich friends. But here's more. Roughly, this is according to Democrat Senator Heather Gustafson. Roughly 1 in 6 children are food insecure. That means they don't know where or when their next meal will be available if they get one at all. Look, in 2022 alone, Minnesotans made more than 5.5 million visits to the state's 476 food pantries, according to Hunger Solutions Minnesota. And at least 61,000 Minnesota children live in poverty. And at least 1 in 5 children in Drazkowski's own districts is poor enough to qualify for free or reduced priced meals at schools. So hungry people exist. They're literally in his district, 1 out of 5. Maybe he should, I don't know, go outside into his district and actually talk to them. Oh, no, wait, I can't do that. Oh, no, no, no.
Can't let that happen.
He's too busy meeting with wealthy donors. He's got to go beg other rich people for cash. And of course, when he receives the cash in the form of campaign donations, you think that they're just giving that money out of the goodness of their heart? No, they expect a return on investment. That return is, of course, to vote to give subsidies to corporations, deregulate industry, and give tax cuts for the rich. That's really it. It's all goodies for him and his rich friends. That's why he doesn't care about the poor kids. He doesn't give a goddamn about the poor kids. And he's absolutely incredibly smug and proud of it. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Now, look, one more reason, by the way, that this is something like this is actually incredibly necessary for schools and universal, free lunch. Studies have found that children who are not getting enough nutrition, they have a harder time learning. Okay, you can't really learn well on an empty stomach. So if you're food insecure and you're not getting a meal at school, well, you're not exactly learning the lessons. And then, of course, you have a more difficult time being able to be successful in your classes, getting good grades. And of course, that leads to a more difficult time getting a decent career and being able to basically ascend, if that's still at all possible in this country, to a higher, social bracket, essentially, to make it, if you will, even into the, increasingly shrinking middle class. It makes it that much harder. Now you compare that to, of course, rich children who, of course, always get all the best of essentially everything, best kind of education. Obviously, they're well fed and they're set up and prepared for success. Children who do not have, at the very least, food, they're not able to succeed as easily. And I think this guy knows that. And he's like, good. I don't want children who are poor to succeed. I only want rich children to succeed. And ultimately, I think that's the whole point and purpose.